easy. Hi there. This is, well, if you don't know who this is by now, I can't help you. Go back and watch other videos. Anyhow, today we are going to work on upgrading our induction matrix out by the generators. I've already done a little bit. We're going to do a little bit more. So here's the thing. It is not a simple task. This is actually something that is difficult in this pack. Not easy. Nope, nope, nope. Not unless you have a few tricks I'm going to show you. Alrighty, so let's get started. I'm going to show you a few recipes and explain why this is a difficult process. So if you type induction, you are going to get all the parts you need here to build an induction matrix. These are the intermediary or finished parts. These are not what you're going to start with. So your very basicest part is going to be the induction casing. Need a bunch of this. You can see this little bugger. This here is what makes these recipes so difficult, because you can only hold one in each spot of any inventory unless you go to AE2, Applied Energistics 2. So if you go over to the crafting table and you make, you know, like 20, 30 of these, you want 20 or 30 of these, you got to have 5 or 6 of these, and they take up 5 or 6 spaces. Which means, if you look at my inventory, I run out of space pretty darn quick. So you can either empty everything out and hope you remember what box you stuck it in. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Ooh. Anyhow, you got to remember what box you stuck it in if you do. And that ain't always easy for some of us. The other thing you can do is go over and use the molecular assembler, which is what we're going to do. Now that you understand, and here's the thing. This guy, he's in everything in one form or another. And sometimes he's in there multiple times. So this is a royal pain in the backside working with these, which is why we're going to use molecular assembler. Now to do that, you got to have a few things in place already, like these enriched alloy. You cannot make these in the molecular assembler. You have to make them through Mekanism. So just to give you a quickie look, of course in this one don't have it. Let's try this. There we go. So to make that, you got to run it through the molecular infuser with some form of redstone and iron, and you can churn out bunches of these. And same thing with your other circuits. You're going to have to make these ahead of time. You cannot make these in the molecular assembler. So I have already loaded a bunch of stuff over here in the molecular assembler, which we have assembled molecularly. So that's this bugger, and this bugger, and this who's a majiggy. You need them all. Oh, and you're going to be using that too. Confused yet? Well, I wasn't. I mean, I was. I had to have someone showed me. So this is how you do it. We're gonna clear this for just a moment. First thing you do is you make a bunch of these blank patterns. And how do you do that? Well, you make a blank pattern to make a blank pattern to make a blank. Yeah, I've already used a bunch. Let's just make a couple and show you. So this is how you use it. Type in the word blank. And there it is. And it says craft. If there were any made, there would be a number. There are none made. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to tell it, make 10. Click next. There's nothing that we're out of stock of. We can make 10 of them. We hit start. And it don't take long to chunk it out. So we're going to say blank. One more time. Now we got 10. So let's go pop these in the machine on the other side. So we just drop these in the weighting slot. Now say I want to make induction casing, or better yet, say I want to make an energy tablet. If you have these things in the machine, or if it's an extremely basic pattern, it may let you just click plus and encode it. If it does not have the enriched and it's never done anything with the enriched and it's never made this pattern before at any time, it's going to make you put the enriched in here physically, because they won't show. You'll just have two blank spots and you'll have to bring one up and go click, click. It doesn't actually use it. It just puts it in the recipe, and then this will show. And all you have to do after this is click encode pattern. I'm going to make a throwaway because I already got one. Encode, and of course, there we go. It's slow today. So there we've encoded the pattern. We pull it out and it looks like a disk drive. Now don't get confused because I already got one in here. See right there? So I'm going to put this one right here, drop it in, and you've got the encoded pattern. And see, it tells you what's all in it. It's 1 energy tablet with 2 enriched alloy, 3 gold, 4 redstone. No substitutions. Okay, so if you have something where, you know, we've got multiple types of iron, it's only going to encode one type of iron the way it is currently set up. So, as I said, this is a chucker. Let's go chuck it. Oh, we have this now. Huh. I was going to say I put a latrine in here, but looks like we now have a trash can. So, let's take a look here what we all got. We have got everything we need. We've got the structural glass. We have got the induction casing, the energy tablet, the induction port. This is your in and out. And we also have your steel casing. These are the 5 basic things. Then the next higher thing you're going to need is your energy cube. So I have currently encoded a basic energy cube, which uses 2 energy tablets, a steel casing, 2 iron ingots, and 4 redstone. Not terribly difficult in and of itself unless you're needing a bunch of them, because then you got to have a bunch of these. Same thing with this, and it keeps building on itself. So 1 advanced energy cube is 2 osmium, 2 energy tablets, 1 of these guys, and 4 enriched alloy to make that. And these are the basis of the following things. The induction provider is what lets you put energy in and out, and it determines the rate and how the energy is handled. It does not actually go and store any energy. It just tells the energy how it's going to be working. You can have any number of these induction providers, induction cells, or air in your induction matrix. It don't matter where they're put, as long as they're in there. So the induction cell is 4 of them energy tablets. These guys, bunches of them. Bunches and bunches and bunches. 1 energy cube, again, bunches of those tablets, and 4 lithium dust. That's the one thing I didn't check. I did not check the lithium dust levels, so let's check that and see if there's any in here. LITH. Oh yeah, there's a bunch. So we should not have any problem making our basic components. So I am still working on loading with the very basic tier. All right, so here are our inductions. As you can see, I made the induction cell. I made some casings. And the thing is, these will build up through whatever you need. So that's the advanced. There's the basic induction provider. Where is my, there's the basic cell. So we're going to make, I don't know, 8 of these, let's say. Well, we're going to make 7 because I got one that's made. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's an induction port. I don't want an induction port. I want an induction cell. Basic induction cell. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We hit next, and these are all the parts for all the parts to make what we're making. Okay, so this requires all of this. So that's 41 of these energy tablets. Can you imagine trying to keep track of 41? What's 3 times 9? That's 27. That's all you can put in a storage crate or a chest. So it's a matter of making it, shuttle it, make it, shuttle it, make it, shuttle it, make it, and it's a pain. This is going to be so much easier. It's all ready to go. So let's hit start. There we go. And there it's making it. It's a little slow because it's a multi-step, but even so, I got 7 now. Poof, like that. Where did that come from? I thought I threw you out. I did. I throwed you out. Let's try it again. Okay. I don't know why that showed up. I have to check the video on that. So, anyhow, that is the first step. We got some parts. I should have enough casing. I should have enough glass to go and get these parts loaded in, and I'm going to pull out a couple of the other parts that I made too many of. So in the next video, I'll be over there. We'll pick that up here in a second, and we will gut it, and we will rebuild it, and you get to see how it works. Just a moment. Be right back. Howdy. Thanks for sticking around or coming back. Not certain if I did this as one or multiple videos at this point. So we are doing the next part of upgrading the induction matrix over here by the generators. So I figured you might be interested in seeing what things look like because we done changed it a bit. So this is it. There's our 1, 2, 3 generators. Only one's on at the moment. And we retooled this guy so that we could get all of our connections on the front and the top, so it was all nice and pretty instead of looking like a tangled web. And to do that, we had to change the size and the dimensions. Oh, I still got my flight suit on. Thought I'd turn that off. And we can peek in. We got most of this filled, but I'm going to add a few, and then hopefully later on I'm going to upgrade some of these even more. The first thing we are going to do, we're going to pull these guys. We do not need this many. I only need 2. And I believe, okay, this is the one what got 4 of them. So now this basically turns it off when you break it, but as long as you don't take all the components out, you're not going to lose much, if anything. So first thing we're going to take these 4 out. There we go. We are going to put some replacements in. And I'm going to put 2 of these back because I think I kind of like them here middle-ish. This ain't the middle. It ain't really set up for that, but I think I like them middle-ish. So I know it's just the 2 of them. So there, we took those out, and you saw we had little red sparklies. So we're going to do it again. Come on, there we go. We're going to take these out. There we go. And let's see how many of these we can pack in. We may need to make a couple more. Whoopsie. Didn't want that in. So yeah, it looks like we're going to need to make 4 more for this project. So let me seal this up and you can get a look. So it now holds 10 giga RF. So I'm going to cut back here in a second with 4 more. We're going to top it off and see where we're at. I'm back, in case you didn't notice. Got that little errand done, and if you see behind me, there is a box hanging on the pillar. That is my parts box for the induction matrix. So let's go take a look here. I'm sorry I can't do it third person. I ain't that skillful. Can I do it? No, I can't do it. There we go. So this parts box it's got extra, heavy HV wire coil relays, etc. Blah 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 blah. Structural glass, universal cable, wooden posts, induction casing, induction casing, induction casing, induction. So there's a lot of stuff here. These basic induction providers that I pulled out, I want to hold on to those. And when I go back, I'm going to convert them into one of these. And there's the recipe. So I need 4 of the basics. And I need to make an advanced. I think I actually have one. And then 4 of these doohickeys. And that will make this, which has 204.8 KRF throughput. An advanced complex of coolant systems, conductors, and transformers capable of expanding the energized induction matrix maximum rate of energy transfer. So again, these are energy transfer. That's 204. We currently have 2 of these at 25, so 2 of these is half. 4 of these is 1. Seems like you should get a little bit more since you're using 4 in it, I know, but it just takes up less space. So let's go over and let's finish this little job. Get these bad boys in here. Oh, there we go. Make sure I get the right ones this time. Now watch for the sparkles. There we go. Woohoo! All right, so we currently only have 1 generator going. Each one of those pops out 12.13 KRF per tick. We now have 12 giga RF total capacity. And our output rate actually is 51.2. That's also the max input we could put in there. So let me show you what happens when we turn on the other 2 generators. I only got 1 going. Only need 1 right now. We get all the equipment running. We pop both these bad boys on. And it do take a second for them to spin up. Yeah, I know that's not working again. I ain't going to fix it right now. I got to bust the pipe in order to get it to show. But here's the thing. Look her go. Look at her go. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and there we go. Maximum. So we could effectively have 2 more of these, and that would just make input capacity on this. That's a lot of power. Let's shut these down so don't waste the gasoline. Remember, kids, don't waste gasoline. It's extremely expensive, and there ain't that much of it, and they ain't going to give enough for you that you want anyway. So that's it. kind of a pretty build. These can go 18 by 18 by 18 with an internal size of 16 by 16 by 16. That is a lot of cubes. And this is just the basics. Like I say, wait till we get them bigger ones in if we need to. I'm going to say if, I'm going to say when, because I'm learning my lesson. So the next thing I'm going to do, replace one of these with one of these. And that should handle, well, actually the problem is it can push it out, but it can't carry it is the problem. These only carry so much. I don't remember what they are off the top of my head. Ultimate. 128 KRF per tick. So that's 204. It cannot push out. It cannot carry, even though it can push it out. This should be able to push out 400 with two out ports. But this line, that's the biggest, heaviest line we can make, and it cannot handle it. So that's going to be our limiting factor. Oops, wrong one. Pretty sobering thought there, all that power. We can make and store so much power that we can't push it through the line. We could use it if we could get it there probably, but we can't push it through the line. So there are still limiting factors, like my energy cubes, or what do they call them? Energy cells that from thermal that I use, they can only take 25K per tick. So even though they're hooked up on that line up there, they take a while to fill. So I pop them up there, and I got another setup over at the other Induction Matrix does the same thing. I pop them up there, let them fill, go off to go and do some errands and such, come back, they're done, then I can go take them out and play with them. So power, power, power. I think also that we have got the breakage situation fixed. I hope anyway. Find out next time I am off the server for a bit and we come back and see if we got any broken pipes or any power lines that are not transmitting. There we go. So again, if I've left the game, no one's been on, I come back here, I click on this, it says I have 0 input. And I know I've got input because there's room and it's spinning. So there's power, which means I need to break one of these connectors and then rehook it up. And that usually is what causes this to show back up. So not bad. We're about half full on this guy. So until next time, we're going to call good as done with the Induction Matrix. I hope you learned something. Realize this thing can be almost as big as that tank Bobby built if we were to need it. Fortunately, I hope we do not. I do not want to build that many, even with the molecular assembler. That was way easier than doing it by hand in the bench, but my God, think of how many cubes that is. 16 by 16 by 16. That's a lot. Yeah, till next time. Bye. Y'all enjoy.